Today, this is Dude Nim. I will be your host today. This is Dude Nim, and I got Miss Lynn in the building today. And this is Jeffery. This Young Thug, everybody. The Atlanta rapper we formerly know as Jeffery. His real name is Jeffery Lamar Williams. You know, he's from Atlanta, man, and everybody know that he's got, booked into this RICO charge and everything like that. Young Thug has been grinding everybody for quite a long time, as we know. Young Thug, was signed with Gucci Man back in the day. And he made his rise, to them headstreams when he found out, linked up with Birdman, Big Stunner. He had linked up with Birdman, and everything took off from there. He had his campaign with with my boy Rich Homie. And yeah,
multitasking.
Man, do your thing. Do your
thing. So my question is, everybody is talking about this case, but do people even know what RICO is?
Right.
Because if you really break down what RICO really is, every rapper is kind of guilty. Like, just with the simple terms. Using illegal income to acquire, establish, or operate an enterprise. So, most rappers talk about they sold dope to start rapping, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that already fits the first part of the definition of RICO. And then acquiring an interest in such an enterprise. So now I use my dope money to create a record label or to create, some sort of conglomerate. And that conglomerate is making me real money. So now I just laundered my dirty money through my business that I created. And then the last part of the RICO situation is using that enterprise to collect or add to debts. So now that enterprise is hiring other people. They're firing other people. They're purchasing, material and music and all of these other things. So even if it was just on the surface, almost every rapper would be guilty because they brag about, I sold dope to get hit.
Yeah, what you think about, they try to, what you think about the people in Atlanta? Are they divided? Because, you got some of them saying that, because I feel like this. If you made it out of the hood, man, and I know, me and you talked about this before, some people just still have their foot in the hood there. But, he also helped so many young people out. Young Thug, to me, I really feel like he's a product of his environment. He's a great talent. It's just that, sometimes you still have your foot in the hood, and sometimes they can bite you in the ass too,
But if that's where you're from and that's what you know, you can't blame people, for doing what they know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Money doesn't change who you are, it just changes your circumstances. How many football players, they have these $1 million contracts and they in the club, with weed or with a gun, or they're still rich. But what do? They go back to their hometown, they go to a club in their hometown, and they're around the same friends, that negative energy. So the rules still apply for a rapper. You have people that have a good heart and they're in a bad atmosphere. You have people that grew up in a bad neighborhood, but they have, I would say, multifaceted talent. I might be a good rapper, I might be a good businessman, I might be a good entertainer, but I'm still selling dope. I'm still putting hits out on people. I'm still a boss. I'm still a gang member. So there's always some sort of balance that people always going to have some sort of room for judgment, because you're never going to be good enough for everybody.
You're absolutely right on that. But the DA attorneys also said they've been basically the Fed's been watching them for over 10 years. I'm trying to put together
that's what I was about to say. So these RICO cases don't just start like a day. Like, it's not like, oh wow, let's handle this guy like today, boom, we in court tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Because if you look at all the freaking charges, it's 56 charges.
Yeah, they got wiretaps and everything, so they've been actually doing their work for years.
Right. Now my question was, I never heard of him 10 years ago.
Wow.
But obviously he was on somebody else's radar. And I have gone through some of the documents, not all of them, but when you break it down, think about it, right? Just going through some of the charges that is encompassed with this RICO Act. First of all, you got the murder charge, okay? Then you got armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Again, he got like 5 of those. Possession of a firearm, theft by receiving stolen property. Now, theft by receiving stolen property. Who hasn't really, you know what I'm saying, knew a booster? Like, you feel me? Like, everybody, you know what I'm saying, I had a little discounts here and there. But people pick and choose who they're going to chase. And when they really break this stuff down, they have to maximize the charges as much as possible because they know all of them are not going to stick.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's exactly
when
what
you
they
look at other stuff, you got participation in criminal street gang activity.
Yeah.
Now, a criminal street gang does not mean that it's like, you know, MS-13 that's out here. Like, you could be a criminal street gang and what y'all might be, you know what I'm saying, selling bicycles or like, you see what I'm saying? Something simple. Like, y'all don't, just because it's a criminal doesn't mean that it's elevated stature to murder, kidnapping, rape. You know what I'm saying? There's these other things that dictate criminal. So there's like, when these particular things are broken down, at what point is the criminal? Is it everything that is inclusive of the murder charges? Or are we talking about buying stolen stuff? So there's like, the defense definitely has a lot of room to play with these charges because it could be something not so big. It could be something small, or it could be something on the total other end of the spectrum. But I mean, I'm guilty. I've definitely purchased stolen things before. I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, that is real. I mean, who haven't? You know, right? Yeah, they also said, he also said, he was in possession of a sawed-off shotgun and a silencer as well. It revealed a lot of others. And Gunna, you know, was released, you know, about a few days ago, and he actually, you know, it's kind of go bite Youngthug in the ass if you ask me, because he actually agreed to the jury that it was an organized gang. So I don't know if they go play any. What you think about that? Gunna being released? Yeah.
If you look up the definition of a gang, it's literally a family. Like, it's a family that you're not related to. It's more than a certain amount of people. So an organized group, a set of switches, sockets, or electrical or mechanical devices, right? So you got a gang of something. It's just a group of people. It doesn't mean that they're a group of bad people. Because you got the Dungeon family. It's a gang of music artists.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You got, you know,
Outcasts.
Right, but I'm just saying, a gang of individuals doesn't necessarily mean that every participant is involved in the criminal activity. It just means that there is multiples of them.
But, you know, we just go keep it real on dude now. You know, my thing is, too, what you think about these rappers telling what's going on in their lyrics, though? I'm not saying that that's what he did. That's what they allegedly trying to put on Youngthug, everybody. If y'all tune in, they trying to use some of his lyrics against him. What you think about that, man?
That is something that Maxine Waters has been working on for decades, ever since Tupac, because they were trying to take away different freedoms of speech. Because at the end of the day, you had Donald Trump was our last president, and we can take some of the things that he said and make that criminal as well.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But as I'm a rapper, I'm not just I'm not Youngthug. I am an artist. I'm an entertainer. So just because I say something doesn't mean it's true.
That's true.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Now, even if it is true, who said it was me? It could have been a story that I knew from somebody else. It could have been, you know, exposure or observation that somebody told me. It doesn't mean that I'm particularly implicated in whatever I put into my rap lyrics. Because half of these brothers not even writing their own songs anyway.
You're right about
so
that.
You can't get them too much credit.
Yeah, you absolutely right on that. I ain't gonna lie about that. You absolutely right about that.
And they want the hardest lyrics. They want to sound like the hardest dudes. They want to come with that fire. And most of the time, that's correlated with things that are negative.
And like you
So
said, a
the
lot
more
of
negative,
times, yeah, a lot of times they're not living that anyway. You know, just to be just keep it 100.
right?
Yeah, so
Right. They have writers, they have teams, they got homies that don't want to be in the front of the screen, but they're getting paid on the back end. You know what I'm saying? With the writing team and editors and all of these other things.
mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's like we have to take music and entertainment for what it is. It's entertainment.
Yeah, so that's where they get off at, man. You know, the powers that be are really coming down with the RICO charges. Do you think it's a political anything political agenda that the DA got going on with this?
I'm not going to say that because you got to think about it. They're making more money off of them not being in prison.
Right.
The politics making more money
about
because they're influencing.
That included not just Jeffery Williams, which is of some notoriety and media attention, but about 28 defendants that operated within our community between the time period of 2012 and 2022. It is our allegation that they operated as a criminal street gang and commenced to do havoc in our community. That havoc includes crimes of violence, crimes of thefts, crimes involving drugs. I've made no secret about it, nor any apology that as the district attorney of Fulton County, my number one focus is targeting gangs. And there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community. And so they have to be rooted out of our community. I said just a week or two ago, it does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target and a focus of the district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. I agree with Chief Bryant. What you see yesterday and what you will see in the upcoming months and years is the result of a lot of hard work by both the Atlanta Police Department and this office. We are proud to bring forth this indictment and hopefully to bring justice to a lot of the community who was victimized through the course you see in this indictment. But
yeah, I had to speed the volume up. I mean, speed it up. You know, so I won't get no copyright claim on it. So yeah, that's what you got to do on that one. So yeah, I wanted to add that.
And at the I agree with that. With everything that she said, because if it's illegal activity, things need to be done. But believe me, politics, the governments, the private prisons, the schools, prison pipeline, everything that is against us that's profitable for them, we make them more money when we are out of prison. So I don't think it's directly focused on, a political agenda. I mean, right. I think it's just people trying to make it look like they're doing their jobs. Because you can arrest one person, that doesn't change gang affiliation. You just replace them. And it just continues. You know what I'm saying? Because arresting somebody in a gang isn't going to make those things change. What we have to do is go into those communities and prevent our children from being inducted into gangs. Prevent these atmospheres from, and parents need to be more involved. It's like, where are your kids? Do you know where your children are? You know what I'm saying? Because by the time you get to the top of the totem pole, there's 1,000 other children and young men and young ladies that's waiting to level up.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
However, it's definitely closing cases. Now, my question is, you got all of these charges, right? You got attempted murder, you got all of these murders and everything. How come we've never heard of him being a suspect in any of these murders? Or a person of interest in any of these murders if it's been being investigated for 10 years? That was my only question.
Yeah, my thing is why they want to, I guess the feds have their reasons to do what they do, but they waited such a long time. You absolutely right. It's like,
right, yeah, I get that part. When it comes to murder, it's not even just about the fact. You have families that are waiting on answers. That means that these cases are open.
Exactly.
So these families aren't just sitting around waiting for somebody to be arrested. If this individual or these individuals are being held accountable and being charged with these things.
Allegedly, yeah.
Right, allegedly being charged with these things. So where are the person of interest in these cases that happened previous to this arrest? And then what cases are they referring to? I'm looking at the case of charges. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 or 6 attempted murder charges.
Exactly. Yeah, and they trying to say that in one of his lyrics, he said, "I wasn't a murderer, but I had something to do with it." Allegedly, they trying to use that. But like you said, that is you can't. Yeah, it's the thin line when you're trying to use lyrics. That's their craft. You know, that's they entertainers. You know, it's a thin line when they trying to mix that in. So like, they really been trying to. The freedom of speech thing, they really been trying to use that on these rappers, man, and trying to get these rappers, man, locked up.
You can do the same thing with any artistry. I mean, if I go to a movie, I'm an actor, and I kill somebody in a movie, am I a murderer? If I rape somebody in a movie, am I a rapist? No, I had a character. Everyone knows it's just a movie. It's just entertainment. So are the writers of these movies being investigated to see if these things are real?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
So why is music treated different than any other form of entertainment? And I don't see this happening across other genres of music. If you look at country music,
you don't see that because it's plenty. That's crazy. It's like
that's talking about me having sex with my sister. And you got country music talking about, oh, that's why daddy left for blah, blah, blah. He's missing it. He's buried in the flower bed and shit. Like, for me, like, who's investigating that?
It's like, we all know that rap has really transcended the world, really. You can't, everything that you see, it got to be something to do with rap in every commercial. Now, let's just keep it 100 on dude now. Every white person, pretty much every ethnicity in this world, hip-hop, they want to have something to do with hip-hop. So it's like, why are they trying to crack down on the people that's really in the forefront of this? You know what I mean? It's like they
I'm not gonna say, I'm not even going to say the forefront. I'm just going to say popular.
Yeah, we can say that. We can say that, yeah.
Me, personally, I feel like, I don't even feel like, he's in the top 5, top 10, top 20 type of thing. You know what I mean? I think that these are brothers that found themselves a niche that they were pretty decent at. They were able to, market and promote themselves. They got a deal. They got a team together. They did their work. Now, where that money came from and what their life is on a personal level, none of us can really contend to say, you know what I'm saying, that, they're being targeted because they are on the forefront of XYZ. Because it's all bad. No matter what it is, it's all bad. So if rap music isn't something positive, it's bad. Whether it's the subliminal messaging, the storytelling, the language, the respect and the disrespect, so there's already enough to be mad at. But I'm not going to comb through a song and say, okay, he said he didn't commit the murder, but he was there. When was this recorded? How many places he been since then?
Right.
How many people he been around? Like, how do you even narrow that down to see whether or not it's true? Because it could just be a lie. He could just be trying to sound street and cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never know.
Yeah,
but for 10 years, I'm to see what the paperwork looks like.
Yeah, because it's like they had 28 others. And my thing is, I wonder how many of them gonna be trying to point the finger. A lot of them in there finna try to cut deals and try to snitch. So I don't know if this, in my opinion, I think he will get out. That's what I really hope for, and not to discredit any of the families of the victims if they trying to say he did it.
To be honest with me, he need to have his ass locked up. That's just real. I don't
know what the hell you can do if you out there sending to other people allegedly. If you sending other people to murder other people, then your ass need to be locked up. And you made enough. You made all that money, but you still sending shots like that. Then you need to have your ass locked up. But if they don't really have nothing on this man, they don't really have nothing on this man, then I really think that he should be. I think that he should be vindicated. I think that his lawyer and them, I know he got a good team on his hands, and time will tell. So.
And that's the thing. I feel like once people break down the case and people really pay attention, it's not about, oh my God, he is popular, he is one of my favorite rappers. No, he's a real person. He's a black male. And our issue is we'll talk about Black Lives Matter, right? When it comes to a white officer, killing an unarmed black person. But what about Black Lives Matter when black people are committing these crimes against other black people? So, being that the situation is where it is, allow the system to do what they're supposed to do and do it right. Because nobody deserves to be railroaded. You know what I'm saying? If he got a charge for XYZ, don't go adding on extra shit. Just, enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I don't take up for anybody that is out here, you know what I'm saying, calling, hits out on people. Yeah. But at one point or another, we have all been in a position like, bruh, if I knew somebody would take this dude out, bruh, I would make a phone call. Like, everybody has had those moments. I don't care if it was your job that didn't pay you. Like, you really want to BLOW that up. Like, just crash the whole building. Like, all of us have anger. But when we actually put those angers into, context and make those things come true, then that's when we're dealing with monsters. That's when we're dealing with demons. That's when we are dealing with people that have no respect for our culture. However, whose job is it to say what's true and what's not true in his rap lyrics? If we take all of that out, let's see what we have after that. That's where I am. Yeah. Rap lyrics alone, take all of that out. Take away the freedom of speech, take all of that to the side. Let's deal with what you actually have proof of. Because that's how the law is supposed to work. Right. You know what I'm saying? I can make a song right now, that I cheated on my husband with a rich dude. My husband can divorce me and try to get alimony because of the song that I made. Like, is it going to work the same? Because I'm not an aggressive rapper. You got women out here that's talking about, aborting babies. Yeah. After late term pregnancy. Going after those planned pregnancy, Planned Parenthood places that's aborting babies after the legal term is eligible. Like, when is it gonna stop, or how far is it gonna go?
My opinion, man. And this is my opinion. I think they are really, and I don't know why. I don't know what the agenda is. If it is an agenda, but it seems like they are really targeting the rappers. They really are targeting the rappers.
I think rappers are targeting themselves. Personally.
Yeah, because a lot. I'm gonna let you get in. A lot of them though do some real dumbass shit. You got to think about it. I'm not saying him allegedly put a hit out on anybody allegedly in his rap lyric, but you got these young rappers out here that are really telling everything that they are doing. In the rap lyrics that are basically, you might as well just walk up to the courtroom and just and put your own self in jail. So I don't know if they making it bad on everybody else, or it's what you think about that.
I think again that it is the freedom of speech, and I believe that most of these rappers are lying anyways. Right. Because at the end of the day, most of these kids are younger than us. They didn't grow up the way we grew up. I'm not saying that the streets are not still hard, but the things that they've seen, I'm pretty sure is not as detrimental as the things that we witnessed. Right. You know what I mean? These kids are in their 20s and their early 30s. We're almost 40 and we're in our mid 40s. You know what I mean? There's things that we've seen that we can talk about, but we have a code. Some of this stuff is going to stay with us until we die. Period. Now there's just no rules. So it's like, if this was a real gang, there would be some OGs that's looking at this stuff like, all right, boom. This, you can't even say, like, take that out. Like, real gangs, like where we came from, first off, I'm not dealing with a singer. Because singers do exactly that. They sing. You feel me? So I'm not dealing with you. Like, you're a rapper. Like, I can't have you the head of my gang, per se, because you're a rapper. You need material. I can't trust you. You running off at the mouth. You get paid to talk. Right. So to me, I just feel like they're making it more than what it is, but it doesn't mean that some of the charges are not real.
Yeah, that's where.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's where it get that's where it get a little tricky too, because what if what if some of that stuff trying to stick, they really just trying to stick them with, and we don't really know. I just, he really got a good team on his hands. He got a little people, and we can just hope, But like you said, if he really done any of that, hey, it is what it is. So what do you think about? What do you think about the people in Atlanta? Are some of them divided? Like I was asking you earlier. Do you think that some of them want him to be free, or
I don't even think people are really following the case.
Right.
They don't read, because even if you looked at the docket, if you looked at the case files, this stuff is open to the public. And I did kind of venture into some things, But when you look at these case files, these 242 pages, 335 pages of observations and notes and this, that, and third. Do you really think that these people that's on social media that live right here in Atlanta have really gone through all of these different things so they can actually have a valid opinion? I think that the people in Atlanta are cliquey. So if you're from Atlanta, they're going to ride with you, period. They don't need no details. They don't need you to be right or be wrong. They just, I'm from Atlanta, so free so-and-so. Like, oh my God, what did so-and-so do? Oh, he kidnapped his baby mother and, killed the kids and, he robbed the church, but free him anyway. He's from Atlanta. Like, like okay. Like, they just have this camaraderie amongst each other, but then they'll turn around and say, well, so-and-so is a snitch because he wouldn't take a charge. Like, I didn't snitch. I just said it wasn't me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's it.
That's crazy.
So you want me to lie and say, oh yeah, that's mine? Nah, bro, it ain't mine. Whose is it? I don't know, but it ain't mine.
Yeah, and then Gunna want to go on here, and this is my thing with Gunna. When they ask Gunna, where you with basically Young Thug in the car with a gun, he Gunna like, yes, ma'am. So he basically kind of implemented that it is an organized gang. He implemented that, so they will use that. They will use that. So everything that Gunna said yes to, they gonna try to use that.
That is true. But I have been in a car with people with a gun, and it's not a gang. It's totally legal. I mean, it's not illegal to have a gun.
But I like the way his.
It's not illegal to be a years.
I like the way his lawyer, Young Thug lawyer, said that on the day of the arrest when they went into his mansion, it was like 9-10 other people in there.
Now that was,
and he wasn't nowhere around the gun at all. And so just because the gun was in his house, so they trying to put that, so he wasn't nowhere around that gun.
I know. It's not a house. It's a mansion.
A mansion, so everybody can.
There's a lot of stuff in there that you don't know nothing about. It's huge.
Yeah.
Think about it. You can lose something in your bedroom, right?
I swear, them walk-in closets and all that.
You can lose something in your bedroom, right? Let's take it a step further. You have some company. Your company leave. 2 days, 3 days later, somebody say, "Hey, I left my glasses over there."
Right.
They're up there by your PlayStation on the shelf. You're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I ain't even see it."
You can lose a little. You can lose a female in that motherfucker. Still be hiding in your closet somewhere, and she taking all kind of selfies in your shit. Laying in your bed and shit, taking selfies.
So when somebody say, "I don't know something," in a mansion, how hard is that really to believe? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can believe there's probably some things that you don't know. You feel me? Like, however, possession is 90% of the law. So it is like if we in a car and the car belongs to me and don't nobody want to own up to the heat, I got to take that charge because it's in my car. So at the end of the day, you still have to have some sort of accountability. But it's not hard to believe that you don't know who something belonged to when you're in a mansion and you got people coming in and out on a regular basis.
So yeah, that is. It's kind of.
So
I just wanted to get some real.
Have a good time.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and well, I'm gonna get on to this too. What's your thoughts since the trial has begun? Now I've been thinking. My opinion. This dude and them, everybody. I'm thinking, in my opinion, man, Megan been lying the whole time. Megan, my opinion, I do not think that Tory pulled that trigger. I'ma just say that. I think, in my opinion, I think the friend girl, I think they was justling over that gun.
Is she a friend? Listen, but is she a friend? That's the question.
What Megan said,
Shorty is nobody's friend.
Megan. Yeah. He's trying to, man, it's crazy, man. Really, what they're really trying to say, allegedly, at that party, they got, Megan and was drunk as hell. And Kylie basically just kicked them out. She was like, look, y'all too drunk. And on the way back, when Kylie basically, you know, and you know, Tory were basically smashing all of them, really. You know, on the way back after Kylie kicked them out, really, because Megan and them was all drunk and shit. Yeah.
But my thing is this: do you really think that the two of them didn't know that they was both smashing Tory Lanez? You know what I'm saying?
And that's what people trying to say. Man, they gotta get out of here with that shit. They knew that, man. You can't even, man, that's crazy. They trying to say that they keep doing it behind her back. Yeah, that's what was going on.
That was no such thing. Because you got to think, him and Meg had a public relationship, but then it turned into he was dating Chelsea first. It's a mess. But I can't say who pulled the trigger, but I do feel like it was probably just a drunken mess, and it got out of hand. Because for all we know,
that's what I think. That's exactly what I feel.
If you take it from the beginning,
that's exactly what I feel.
If you take it from the very beginning, she didn't press charges on him. She didn't tell nobody he shot her. She said she cut her foot on some glass. That's what she said. And to me, that might be the truth.
Yeah, tell me what y'all think in the comment box. This dude and them in the building, and we taking off in a big major way. Make sure you also subscribe to my backup channel. Dude and them in the building. Yeah.